Just like many of you, I'm a very, very busy person. That's just one of those facts of life. My time is constantly divided between being a parent, managing some design projects, social media, and content creation. And so whenever I see topics on YouTube about productivity tools, I let out a sigh of sadness because more often than not, they're most likely just not gonna work for me. I finally gave the Analog by UGMONK a try. And I kid you not, I think I found it. I think this is the perfect productivity tool for me. When I start my day, I mentally go through my to-do list, and that automatically makes me feel nauseous. And that's during the good days. On really hectic days, I force myself to write down notes or reminders on my digital notepad, but that also requires me to make new documents or create a new page just for simple ideas. And you can imagine this really racking up at the end of the day, and it gets really overwhelming. So most of the time, I kind of just force myself to remember things, and I'm already terrible at that. So clearly the only solution that I have is to go old school and just write things down on a notepad. However, I'm a messy thinker, so the thought of having a bunch of random notes and scribbles, frankly, just giving me anxiety just thinking about it right now. So I finally gave the Analog a try. So off the bat, what you get is this nice wooden base to hold up your cards, this magnetic metal divider, and some cards. And that's pretty much it. I know, incredibly simple, but that's exactly why it works so well for me. But to help you understand why, let me give you a rundown on how I actually use the Analog. So you have 3 analog cards. One is labeled today, the other one is labeled next, and the last one is labeled someday. The moment I sit at my desk, I start writing down goals that I need to get done that day. And the way my brain works is that I write the most important thing at the top and go down the list to the least important. However, you don't have to do it this way. You can literally just write down all the things that you need to get done, during the day, and just mark them off as you complete them. So for example, I finished writing my script for the next video. I then mark it as complete by shading the entire circle. Then I move on to the next task, which is film B-roll. But let's just say the time comes when I need to pick up my kid from daycare. I can then shade the circle halfway, denoting that I started on the project but did not complete it. So by the time I get back, I can either continue where I left off or move on to the next task. When I'm done for the day or when I have completed the task, I place the card on the metal divider. If you look at UGMONK's website, they suggest that you put the finished card inside the tray. Now, this isn't a rule, mind you, it's just a suggestion. You can do whatever it is that works for you best. I like to place my card here because I get to see what I've completed, and it kind of motivates me to complete more tasks. The shelf hides additional today cards that I can pull from. So what happens to the ones that I didn't complete? This is when the next card comes into play. So at the end of the day, depending on the deadline or the importance of the task that needs to be completed, I get to choose if I want to carry it over to tomorrow's today card or just write it down on the next card. The today card and the next card helps me visualize things that needs my immediate attention and the things that can wait a little bit longer. I also use the next card to write down projects that I probably haven't finalized yet or I plan on working on. And lastly, I use the someday card as a goals checklist or maybe an idea card. And since this is the card that I use the least, I usually just write things down and place them behind the today or the next cards. So every time I think of a new idea or a goal, I can easily update it. As mentioned, I also use the someday card as a goals checklist, and this is something that I highly recommend. I've written goals in the past 3 years, and at that time, most of them felt like they were damn near impossible to accomplish. But writing them down and revisiting them later on will surprise you. It's such a powerful thing, and I can't really fully explain it, but all I know is that every time I think of a goal and write it down, that means I've given it enough thought. And it's as if my body just automatically moves towards the direction of accomplishing that goal. Some might take longer than others, but fact is, every time I revisit my goal list, I oftentimes am surprised myself. And it helps me recalibrate my process whenever I see a goal that I hit or didn't hit. It forces my brain to look back and find ways how to make it more efficient or learn from my mistakes and figure out how I can do better in the future. And once you scratch off a goal, no matter how big or small, it spurs you on to create more ambitious goals. So do that for a while and you might be surprised as to where you end up in a few years. Hopefully not in jail. So that's really it. Like I said in the beginning, incredibly simple, but works so well for me. I don't have to rack my brain in the morning trying to figure out like what needs to get done, because I know at the end of the day that I've written down the things that I need to do the next day. And so that helps me truly disconnect at the end of the day and actually just relax. So the only thing I regret is not requesting the maple color just because it doesn't match the color of my desk. But UGMONK did send me this nice pair of scissors. It's called the HMM scissors. I like it because it's simple and clever. It has a flat design, which makes it a little bit safer, and you can attach this to the base magnetically, and it even has this box cutter built into one of the handles. So it's a clever and nice design. So thanks to UGMONK for sending me the analog to try out. It's the thing for me. It helps me organize my days, and I just really believe that improving productivity doesn't have to be complicated. That's why I love it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and help me reach my goal of hitting 100,000 subscribers. Our current subscriber count is, as always, take care and I'll see you guys again soon. I'm a very, very busy person. Just like many of you, I'm a very, very busy person.